손 놓지 마. 놓치지도 말고. 맞다.
The Netflix rabbit hole is one hell of a drug. After the success of Squid Game, a lot more South Korean properties have been catching my eye as of late, which brings us to All of Us Are Dead. It's a South Korean zombie apocalypse drama that surrounds a group of high schoolers fighting for their survival against the hordes of zombies as well as each other. The scariest thing about surviving a zombie apocalypse, it's not the zombies, but it's the people. The trust, the fear, these are all key elements here in this series. And for the most part, they do a really good job at building relationships, tensions, and attachments to the characters as their relationships begin to prosper amongst themselves. The show holds nothing back. From the very beginning, you get an understanding that no one is safe at all. The cast appears to be well put together because of the on screen chemistry that each cast member has with each other, and it is off the charts. You really get a sense of friendship, a sense of love, and loss throughout the series, and it is filled with emotional weight that is never wasted throughout. Onjo and Chao Sun are your general main characters of the show. They carry most of the emotional weight up until a certain point. This is where we get introduced to new cast members to the group, and everything starts to take off at this point. You now have a group of kids that are very different in every way, from their grades to their upbringing to the confidence and love that they have for each other. This is where the show got its hooks in me, and I could not walk away. As I stated earlier, no one is safe, and the show continues to remind you of that every chance it gets. Because of the way the story is told, every death has a meaning and a purpose. Nothing felt arbitrary and meaningless. The relationships and character development of the cast was done so well that you actually feel for the cast, unlike most of the shows today where things feel rushed and unearned. This sentiment always takes me back to Zack Snyder's Superman versus Batman and how Superman's death felt so underwhelming because the story was rushed by Warner and DC in a attempt to catch up to the MCU. Arguably one of the most iconic deaths in comic book history was squandered for the sake of time. All of Us Are Dead does have some flaws. It suffers from a drawn out season, maybe 2 episodes too long, and some poor writing along the way in some areas. Albeit it's on a small scale, and it doesn't really take away from the story as a whole as you're watching it. Now, on a side note, I started watching the show with dubbed audio, and holy crap, this is probably the worst dubbed audio I've ever heard. It almost ruined the show for me. But then I switched to subs with Korean audio, and the show instantly became 100% better. Foreign films are meant for subs,
손
not
놓지 마.
dubs. If you want to journey down that rabbit hole of Netflix's foreign film library,
맞다.
All of Us Are Dead is definitely a good start. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for sticking it out to the end. And like I stated before, Netflix does have a huge library of foreign films and different properties that I think you might enjoy. But with that said, my name's Lincoln. This is the RPG Show, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.